Trogdor observation. Like I'm just gonna follow your camera while I hit the urination station. There's a
Okay.
lot of words that ended in shun. There you go.
So in the bottom left corner, the loser of the first two games, he needs to win 3 in a row to take the series now. It's EG LzGamer RC, or EG Lord Zerg RC. I guess we finally know what the LZ stands for. And in the upper right corner, victorious in the first two games, he only needs to win one more to win the $50. It is Complexity Minigun, playing on the account Root Minigun, formerly on Root.
Looks like he's throwing in a standard Force spam this game.
Yeah. I guess he just wants vision of his natural this time. He did win the last game when he got proxy hatched in the natural, but it was annoying for him to deal with. And he's worried that LZ might handle it a bit better this game, I guess, and be prepared for the warp gate. So he just wants to.
Yeah. It really wouldn't have taken too much last time for LZ to hold. If he had like one spine crawler up at home when those zealots came in, I think he would have been fine.
Yeah, I mean, it was a gimmick from LZ, but Minigun also kind of had to gimmick his way out because of how late he scouted it.
Yeah, for sure. 14 pool looks like going up for LzGamer.
I think it was actually 15, but same thing.
Yeah. I realized that there. I was like, but oh well. Up in Minigun space, he's not yet made a Nexus or anything. So he looks like he's probably gonna go for 17 Nexus.
And with the Probe Rally, it looks like it's exactly that. Pretty standard as well.
For sure. Oh, actually, I was thinking for the Forge before Nexus.
Yeah. I think he did that so that he can pylon block, because going Nexus first with a pylon block, you were saying in game 1, I don't know if he's going to get the cannon down in time. That's because that build is so tight that if you pylon block, you cannot get the cannon down in time. So he decided he wanted to rather throw LZ off.
Yeah, for sure.
Get his own Nexus down.
That's definitely something I have a lot of experience with as a Protoss player. I've had many lings just like run into my base and my cannon wasn't done yet. It's very frustrating. Yeah. So,
well, now you know it's because you can't Nexus first and block, but you can Forge first and double block and be fine. And it's really stylistic which one you'd rather do. Would you rather get the best economy for yourself or disrupt your opponent's economy as much as possible? Yeah, and you still see top pros going for either.
So LzGamer's actually been smoothly able to take his second and third hatchery. He deterred the probe just with one drone at the third. Stopped it from kind of microing in the position after boxing into like a little crevice of the mineral line. And then he picked off the pylon that was blocking his natural with the initial lings and one drone. Was able to just immediately throw down that hatchery right as he had like 350 minerals. So it seems like everything's like better timed for him relative to the other games. We'll see if this stable early game can allow him to survive the gateway antics of Minigun, which he's had no answer for so far.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
Probe moving in for Minigun now. Trying to get scout off.
So we see the two gases. Minigun, is scouting around the map with the probe, and we see the two gases taken by Minigun, 3 guys on each. So it's pretty standard. He's not doing any MC7 gate all in. He's, getting his normal warp gate. He hasn't started +1 yet, though, so we might see some fast tech once the core is done. Either a Stargater or a Robo.
Yeah, Queen transferring down to the natural now. Still no gas from LzGamer. So, I guess, as you mentioned, it's like 40 supply is the marker for the standard double gas timing.
It's normally 44, but when you get pylon blocked as he did this game, you often do it at 36. It's normally just around 6 minutes. 6:12 here because he wanted to wait till he actually got to 40, but that's fine.
Yeah, I think with Minigun having the 2-0 lead, he's feeling more comfortable experimenting now, and that's why he's throwing down the Stargate. So, like when you have a secure advantage in a best of 5, you're 1 game away from closing it out. You can go for something like new and awkward that could completely throw off your opponent. It's the type of thing that you have to think about after the game, and then, oh, that's how I would have stopped it. But I mean, this kind of Stargate timing can be pretty problematic for a Zerg player, unless I guess with the buff to Hydras, it could be pretty sick to transition into them in response. But I mean, I'm just like running all over the place in my brain right now, thinking about this matchup that I don't understand.
Well, I think if you're gonna go Stargate and are possibly worried about the new Hydras, this is one map to try it on because of the chokes here. Because you can force field the Hydras out still, even with their new speed. Because even with their new speed, they're still slower than Roaches. So if you can get them out in time, you can get the Hydras out.
It's really a mid game I want to see, because it's the type of interaction that seems like it would be something standard in the metagame, and just watching it play out in the beta, it's very exciting to me.
Yeah, it's definitely something that's going to be at least somewhat standard for a while because Roach Hydra is stronger in the mid game now, and it transitions into Hive more smoothly because you don't need mass corruptor to deal with the Colossi. You can just make a few Vipers at Hive, and you can also put off corruptors for longer as well because the Hydras are faster. You can deal with Colossi with flanks when they're in low numbers.
Yeah, like, Roach Hydra was pretty much the standard during Wings of Liberty for the first year in ZVP, getting the corruptors to deal with Colossus. But once people started using Infestor more, this phased out a little bit. And wow, what is this ability?
It's in Vision. I think that might have been a miscast.
Yeah, maybe he was going for the time warp, because this makes it so, like, if we go to Minigun's Vision, he can still see all this shit. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So I mean, one strategic application of that could be, like, you're preempting a push, and you want to know, like, how is my opponent defending this area? That's a good way to do it, but I think in that situation, he wanted to slow down the drones to prevent the escape while the attack hammered away.
Yeah, R and T are right next to each other, which are the hotkeys, so it's almost certainly that. It's really easy to hit the other one by accident, especially in a new game when you're still getting used to the hotkeys. I know I mess up my Viper hotkeys all the time still.
So it looks like some Oracles are positioned outside the natural Zerg player here. There's a Spore and a Queen there to defend them. Over at the third base of Minigun that he's trying to take, there's some Lings posturing to move in, but there are 5 sentries here and the Lings don't have speed, so I think that they should be fine defending that.
Yeah, and speed isn't even on the way.
Is that Roach speed on the way?
Yeah, that's Roach speed on the way and Hydra speed.
Oh shit. So that's the mid game he's looking for, and supplementing that with Vipers is a standard for Zerg I've seen against, like, the Protoss Deathball style and mech play from Terran.
Yeah. So Minigun's hopping right into Colossus out of this. And that's going to crush any sort of mid-game timing that these Hydras try to do. If he can get them out in time. Because 6 Hydras are already on the way, and speed is about to finish, so he might be hit with the timing long before his Colossus are out.
Yeah, I guess the one thing that's good for Minigun in that regard is that LZ's trying to take a 4th right now. So he's not by any means going to try and kill his opponent at this time. But applying some aggression here could both pick off important units for the Protoss player in the late game and stop him from taking a 4th. Like whittling away at Sentry energy, in addition to the expensive things like Immortals and maybe the initial Colossi or 2 before the splash damage really scales to an overwhelming point, is the type of timing you want to hit with this type of composition.
Yeah, I agree. Also, the Hive just started for LzGamer, so if this Roach Hydra time doesn't work out for him, Vipers won't be too far away, and they really shut down Colossus in a way that, like, no other unit has before. It's really a very hard counter. If they are out, you cannot have Colossus out, really. They'll just die instantly, so be interesting to see if he gets some Vipers out of this game.
Yeah, I'm not even sure he's necessarily going for a hard timing. Because he still was making a round of drones when his 4th finished. I think he was just getting out some units to kind of control the map, push the Oracles back. You want to make the Hydras before the Roaches, like make the Roaches last minute, because the Roaches build quicker and they move faster to get into position to reinforce.
So I think with LZ identifying that Minigun hasn't tried to establish a 4th yet, with his Hive finishing up, he's waiting for Vipers before He's aggressive. And just as I say that, he actually moves out to the center of the map. So what do I know? The Vipers right now, very strong against a lower Colossus count. You just pick those out of the army, and it looks silly how quickly you crush the remaining Immortal Sentries and Stalkers with your Hydra-based composition. However,
Yeah, I don't think LZ's really planning on engaging until he gets Vipers. He's just kind of posturing on the map.
Yeah, and you can see the Hydras actually escape. So that was something we're not used to.
And now that LZ's max, he's probably planning on engaging once his Vipers come out. I mean, Roach Hydra you can max pretty fast, so when we saw him not maxed in the middle, it was pretty clear he didn't want to engage yet. He was just getting some army out to posture around the map.
So a couple Lings, if LzGamer was watching, are going to identify a Templar out on the way. He's working for his 5th base right now. I guess LZ's going for the long haul right now. But the 4th base has been put down by Minigun. They're like 2
Ultra.
Lings. Oh, Ultra?
Ultra Cavern, yeah, and he's also getting the 3rd Evo. I don't really know why he's getting the 3rd Evo because, well, I guess it'll finish way before the +3 missile is done. I was going to say he's almost done with missile upgrades so we can continue melee, but he just wants to start melee as soon as possible. Yeah, a transition into Ultras is really good because Ultras now do flat damage, and Ultras used to be considered, like, way early in Wings of Liberty, like, decent against Protoss because they're really good against armored units. If it's just a Stalker Colossus ball, they chew through the armored units so fast. But in Wings of Liberty, they did really badly against light units. So then when people figured out you can warp in Zealots in front to just tank the Ultra attacks, that they became kind of bad for the most part.
So for
but now that they do a flat damage, that has changed again.
The first time in this PvZ series, we're seeing both players like with 8 gas, pretty much the capacity to go wherever they want on the tech tree, feel with whatever composition they've been, like laying down at the end of the night, about to fall asleep. Like, what would be cool in HotS beta? And we'll see them throw whatever they think, whatever they've been speculating as to the ideal composition. But mass storms going down here, but the blinding cloud is stopping the Stalkers from supplementing the Zealots as they charge in and meet their demise. And Vipers pull the Colossi out, but there's just a few too many gateway units for the remainder of the Hydra Roach count to pick off there.
Yeah, LzGamer is sitting on a really big bank right now and he needs to output that immediately because this force is moving in on him. He has 18 Roaches and 19 Hydras on the way, so that'll help out. As well as he still has a few Vipers with good energy to deal with those Colossus. So I think he can hold here, but it'll be tight.
Yeah, there's a speed warp prism. Or is that speed?
Yeah.
It's moving around the north side.
Yeah, I think it's with speed. He does, it's the number is yellow, so it's with speed. He does have the Ultra Cavern done, but he didn't feel comfortable making any Ultras as he thinks they'll take too long to build to help save the space.
Here comes the army on a base snipe, and it's going to get pushed back. Oh, Colossus gets pulled back and sniped off immediately. The army's going to try to gauge here on the ramp, and Colossus are getting pulled out and killed. They're down to 1 Colossus now, very little splash damage on that army. And the last one gets pulled out.
Nice force fields though by Minigun, allowing him to retreat. Those are absolutely clutch, I think, in getting out of there without suffering any more losses. I'm wondering, does Blinding Cloud affect your own units?
I'm not sure. Let's read the description.
Some Zealots just took out the 6th base of LzGamer.
And there's also a second warp prism on the right side that is warping down a bunch of Zealots to kill this idle hatchery that's already been weakened by something that we missed.
Yeah, Minigun's actually going to put LzGamer down to 4 bases here, so it's going to be 4 to 4 bases. Which is pretty good for Minigun.
Yeah, and pushing in down this ramp into the choke, there are quite a few Templar here to supplement once again with storms. Minigun's got full vision of the posturing of LzGamer's army, as that observer is positioned greatly.
LzGamer's really got to watch out about engaging on this choke. I'd like to see him position a few units maybe behind the mineral line of Minigun, but...
Yeah, the Hydras do have long enough range to prevent mining at this base or kill a lot of probes if Minigun doesn't react.
Yeah, but look at what LzGamer's dealing with. There's just a bunch of Zealots. They've been hammering away at hatcheries, and he actually lost his 3rd to them. So like 8 Zealots being allocated to aggression by Minigun, and he's also warping in a Zealot at the natural. He's just been doing awesome multitask with these multiple warp prisms, and now he's got it deployed in the main. Oh, nice abduct though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
LZ does still have 28 supply to deal with. It looks like he's going to fill that with ultras, which I think is the better choice, given that he doesn't